The rain poured heavily over Seoul as Ji-eun rushed through the crowded streets, gripping a food tray tightly in her hands. She had taken on yet another late-night delivery to earn a little extra money, hoping to pay for her grandmother's medicine. Just as she turned a corner, she collided hard with a tall, well-dressed man, and before she could react, hot coffee splashed onto his expensive black suit. Ji-eun gasped in horror. "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to." Kang Joon-hyuk, the powerful and cold-hearted CEO of JH Group, slowly looked down at his stained sleeve. His sharp eyes flickered with irritation. "Do you even know how much this suit costs?" Ji-eun bowed repeatedly, her heart pounding. I can pay for the dry cleaning." Joon-hyuk let out a mocking laugh. "You pay? Don't make me laugh." Without another word, he walked past her, leaving Ji-eun standing there, humiliated in the rain. The next morning, as Ji-eun was helping an elderly woman in the park, offering her warm tea and friendly conversation, she had no idea that this woman was none other than Chairwoman Kang, the influential grandmother of the very man who had insulted her the night before. The following day, Ji-eun was shocked to receive a job offer at JH Group as a personal assistant. When she arrived at the office and saw who she'd be working for, her heart nearly stopped. Joon-hyuk's sharp gaze met hers, and his expression darkened. "You again?" Ji-eun clenched her fists. "Out of all the people in Seoul, why you?" Chairwoman Kang, watching from her office, simply smiled to herself. From that moment, Joon-hyuk made Ji-eun's life at work unbearable. He constantly found faults in everything she did, criticized her, and assigned her impossible tasks. Yet, no matter how harsh he was, Ji-eun refused to back down. One evening, after a long day, Ji-eun stayed behind in the office, wiping away silent tears as she struggled to finish her work. Unbeknownst to her, Joon-hyuk stood outside the door, watching her with an unfamiliar feeling twisting in his chest. For the first time, he felt guilty. The next morning, he awkwardly placed a cup of coffee on her desk before walking away without a word. Ji-eun stared at it in shock. But just as things began to change between them, trouble arrived in the form of Yoo So-ra, Joon-hyuk's elegant yet manipulative ex-fiancée. Seeing the growing closeness between Ji-eun and Joon-hyuk, So-ra devised a plan. One afternoon, she secretly planted an expensive watch from Joon-hyuk's office into Ji-eun's cleaning cart. The next day, security dragged Ji-eun into the office, accusing her of theft. Joon-hyuk stood at his desk, his expression cold and unreadable.
"Pack your things, you are fired."
Ji-eun's breath caught in her throat. "I didn't steal anything. Please believe me." But he didn't even look at her. Without another word, she turned and walked away, silent tears streaming down her face. That night, unable to shake the uneasy feeling in his chest, Joon-hyuk reviewed the security footage. The moment he saw So-ra secretly placing the watch in Ji-eun's cart, his heart dropped. Fury burned in his veins. The next morning, he stormed into a board meeting, slammed the evidence on the table, and turned to So-ra. "Get out of my company." His voice was sharp and final. Realizing the damage he had done, Joon-hyuk wasted no time in searching for Ji-eun. He finally found her in her grandmother's small countryside home, working in a tiny cafe. Under the pouring rain, he approached her, his once proud posture now weighed with regret. His voice was unsteady as he spoke. "I was wrong. I don't care about money, reputation, or status. I only care about you." Ji-eun hesitated, her eyes filled with unshed tears. "You hurt me," she whispered, "but I never stopped loving you." With those words, Joon-hyuk pulled her into a desperate embrace, holding her as if he never wanted to let go. A year later, Ji-eun was no longer a poor assistant, but a successful entrepreneur, running her own cafe. Joon-hyuk, still CEO, walked in and placed a cup of coffee in front of her. "This time I ate it," he said.